So a little bit about what I do. I don't like to overcomplicate food. I like to simplify food, but I like to use a lot of pure ingredients, natural ingredients. And about 16 years ago, I realized that I was killing every one of you. I was killing you and I was killing myself because I would work at beautiful, beautiful restaurants around the country and even in Europe. And I realized that something was really wrong with our food supply and that I was getting sicker and sicker. Every job I took, I needed a new medication. I needed a new size pant. I was miserable. At 28 years old, I kept saying to my doctor, is this normal? He goes, oh, Marcus, you're fine. You're not overweight. You're fine, as he's prescribing yet another medication. So I was asthmatic my whole life. I had prescription deodorant. Acid reflux medication wasn't working. They wanted to operate. They wanted to do some really invasive surgery and operate. The only thing my doctor ever said was, don't eat French fries and sit up. He goes, sleep sitting up. I said, are you crazy? Why can't I sleep laying down? I used to literally have a whole bucket of Tums on my nightstand that I needed to get through the night to sleep. And the last straw was cholesterol medication. My doctor goes, you need cholesterol meds. My cholesterol was like 220, 225 at the time. And I knew enough to say, no, I'm done with this. I'm done with the meds. I was on 5 meds at the time. I said, no more. This isn't normal. So I went back and started doing a bunch of research. And I told my doctor said, you're not leaving here without a prescription today. I said, oh, yes, I am. I'm not, like, you can give me the prescription, but I'm not taking it. And he goes, I mean, he was like really hardcore with me. And I was just as hardcore back with him. And I've learned that that's how you have to be with your doctor. You need to say, no, this is what I'm doing, and I need you to help me do it. So he goes, I'll give you 1 month. We'll test your blood in 1 month again. And I really had no idea what I was going to do, but I went to the health food store that day, bought a book, read it like crazy, read it through the night. And I said, okay, now I know what I'm doing. I'm getting rid of all this junk that I've been serving to you guys. The last 15 years, I'm getting rid of all that crap, all the white sugar, all the processed flours, all the sodium benzate, all the chemicals, all the fillers. And I was like, that's it, I'm done with it. I went back to my doctor 30 days later. My cholesterol plummeted 70 points. My high blood pressure was gone. I was losing weight. My asthma of 28 years, gone. My asthma inhaler, threw it out. Never looked back. It's been 16 years now. I haven't touched a med. And my doctor said to me, the medication I would have given you wouldn't have even worked that well. And guess what? He never asked me what I did. Wasn't concerned with what I did because it's not part of their paradigm. But I knew what I was doing because I felt it firsthand. I was reversing myself from all this stuff that I've been bombarded myself with. And it's like that with these big companies now. You see all these big companies offering you organic food now, right? They spent the last 5 decades poisoning you. And now they realize that we're waking up, right? We're waking up and we can see what's happening. So now they're like, oh, let's throw out this token organic ingredient for you. Capri Sun, those little juice envelopes that we all grew up on, they just went organic, right? But for years, they've been poisoning us. All these companies are like that. So I had a major conflict when I went back to work because I was going to work every day, still cooking the food that was poisoning you guys and eating food. I would take my own lunch to work. I take my own meals to work. So I said, you know what? I got to stop this madness. I can't. It's like a doctor that doesn't give his own son vaccines, but will give your son vaccines, right? There was a major conflict of interest. I said, I can't do this anymore. So I totally said, that's it. I started infiltrating all this healthy food into the restaurant I was working at. And people started flocking to the restaurant that had all these dietary concerns, that couldn't eat out anywhere. And it was an amazing turnaround. So at my restaurant now, transparency is our #1 feature of the restaurant. You ask me where it's from, I'll show you the package, I'll show you a picture of the farm. As I'm walking around the room here today, there's probably about 12 vineyards in Italy that I've actually been to and visited because I really want to know where our food comes from. I want to know where our wine comes from. I want to know where our spirits comes from. Jamie and I, when we first started this whole thing, we met a potato farmer that wouldn't eat his own potatoes. And it was shocking. He goes, Marcus, we spray neurologically damaging chemicals on our potatoes. We're not allowed to go in the field. I said, so what do you do for potatoes? He goes, we eat our neighbor. He grows organically. And I was like, this is madness. And here's somebody who's selling his product to every chef out there.